What's up, guys? We're getting ready to head out shed hunting. First walk on this property, so I'm pretty excited. Looks like there was a ton of deer hanging out here this winter, so this is one of my favorite #1 go-to spots of the year. So we're gonna get out and make a day of it hiking, put on some miles. Hopefully we can find some horns, so stay tuned. So we're kind of making our way up this hill. I don't know, it's a west facing slope and it's riddled with cedars and pines, which is one of my favorite places to go look for horns. Close to fields, they can bed in here, feel safe. Short travel route out to the fields where they can get something to eat. So I'm always super pumped to get in here the first time of the year when nobody else has been in here. Usually I find one up in here, so keep our fingers crossed. So this is the stuff that I'm talking about. That's primo for sheds and deer wintering in. I mean, they love this stuff. They can browse on all these cedars. You can see the browse line up about the deer's height on all these trees. So you can tell that the deer spend a lot of time in here in the winter, which is essentially what you want when you're shed hunting. So we'll see. Oh, we're just cruising along here, and I think we just stumbled on our first shed of the day, right up on top of that knob that I was talking about. Looks like a little 1.5 years, but still pretty cool. We are on the board in Wisconsin. Kind of a cool looking little shed. Definitely got some good genetics in that guy. Has a 1.5 years. Look at that G2, ablated already. That will be a cool buck when he gets older. Well, here he is, just a little guy, but man, look at the character on that thing. For a 1.5 years, he's probably got a 3.5-inch brow tine and a big bladed G2. That's gonna be a cool buck someday. Wow. All right, we're heading over to the north side of the hill now. I don't generally walk north sides very much unless we have a really slow snow here. Then they can get at the acorns and stuff, but I noticed from the road that this was north side was just hammered down with tracks, and they're heading to the egg fields across the road. So I think it'll be worth a little walk in here to see if there's a shed laying on top of the snow somewhere. Hopefully we'll keep the wipeouts to a minimum. We're just working our way along this north side, and you can see every time you come up on one of these little knobs, there's beds all over, and just looks pretty good. Lots of beds, lots of sign. Gotta be a shed laying in here somewhere. Well, nothing on that north side, but it's kind of funny. I've been thinking about all the things when you're shed hunting that drive you crazy, and these guys right here. Look at the thorns on these things. They just tear your legs and your face and your hands just to shreds. I'll look like I've been through Been through a mountain of this stuff by the end of the week, but no pain, no gain, right? We got a visitor. Well, we're just walking along here up in a little bedding area, and I was thinking the whole time I was walking up here, I check this every year and I've never found a shed up in here. Well, it looks like I was too late last year, or I didn't look hard enough. Here's the remnants of what was a shed last year. Man, look at how much those squirrels chewed that thing up. That's just insane. But cool find nonetheless. Number 2 on the day. We're about, I don't know, 3 hours into our hike, so that's pretty good. If I could get one every hour and a half, I'd be super happy. So that was pretty cool. We picked up shed number 2. And hoping for number 3 in here. It's kind of crazy that it's so hard to find old sheds in Wisconsin. The squirrels and mice and everything, especially if they're in the woods. They chew them up within a couple weeks. They'll have them chewed all the tips off and the brow tines. So not like states out west where you can just go and there's sheds laying there from 5-6 years ago. It's super rare to find an old shed here. You're pretty much going to find brown horns or nothing. So, pro tip 948. A stick. A walking stick. I hardly ever walk without a walking stick. How many times it saved me from crashing on my side or down the hill. It's just something that I've always hiked with out west, and something I always hike with around here. It's just an essential part of my shed hunting gear. Something simple as just a stick broke off. You don't have to go buy a $80 trekking pole to hike around, but it sure helps keep your balance on these side hills when it's melting off and you got ice and snow melt. It gets pretty slippery. I get sick of falling on my face, so I finally got smart enough to learn that a walking stick is pretty key for shed hunting. Alright, we are back to the truck. Pretty good hike this morning. I think we got about 15,000 steps in. Yeah, 6.5 miles this morning. That's pretty decent. Hey guys, we're back from our shed hunt. Pretty solid morning. We walked like 5 hours, 6.5, 7 miles. I don't remember exactly what it was, but came away with some horns. We haven't got on the big ones yet, but a horn is a horn to me. You know, it's a lot more about spending time out in the woods, learning deer signs, scouting for mushrooms or whatever you want, and pick up some horns along the way. Now, these deer leave a lot of sign behind from the fall that you would never see once a new growth comes up. So it's kind of interesting to see how the whole, winter goes. And, we look like around here, we had a pretty mild winter. We had a bunch of snow late, and I've walked, I don't know, almost 25 miles now, and I haven't found one single dead deer. So we should have a good new crop of deer coming this next year. But I really like this 1.5 years, even though it's a small horn. Man, that thing has got some genetics. Little acorn on top of his brow tine, and a really nice bladed G2, which you don't find on 1.5 years very much. So 2 cool sheds, and we'll be off tomorrow looking for more. We're just getting underway with the shed season, so stay tuned. We should have a lot more to show you.